So with that, I am pleased to introduce today's presenter, Robin Young. Robin is the Program Manager for Northwest PA Commission's Procurement Technical Assistance Center, also known as PTAC. Robin's training and experience enables her to assist companies to do business with the federal, state, and local government agencies, as well as pursue subcontracts with private contractors. She's also certified to assist veteran-owned small businesses. With that, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Robin.
Thank you, Molly. I appreciate that introduction. And thank you so much for hosting this training for today. We do value our partnerships with our business research partners in the region. And thank you so much for today. And so today we are going to talk about doing business with the Defense Logistics Agency. And you'll notice that I've used an acronym, DLA, and sometimes I do that and forget that you don't, you may not understand some of those acronyms. So if that happens, call me out and send something into the chat or the question Q&A if there's something you don't understand. But DLA does stand for the Defense Logistics Agency. And this today's session is a part one of a two-part series that we will be I'll be providing for you. So I decided to break this down into two parts because there's a lot of information when doing business with DLA, a lot of things, a lot of parts and pieces to getting set up. So I broke it down into, hopefully we'll only be here for about an hour today, so I'm not taking up too much of your day. And then next week, we'll do the part two series next Wednesday on August 25th, where I will go into more details of doing business with DLA. So to get started, before we do start, just quickly, I mean, if you're not familiar with Zoom settings and like now, it seems like Zoom is a part of our normal everyday life. But just in case you aren't familiar, we are going to be taking, Molly and I were just talking, she's going to monitor the chat and the Q&A. So if you do have a question or a comment, something you would like, please put that down in either the chat, and maybe we can keep it in the chat. That way it's kind of all in one section. And just enter your question and submit it. And during each of the sections throughout today's presentation, I will stop to see if we can answer some of those questions for you. And so a little bit about the program, the Procurement Technical Assistance Center. If you have not heard of PTAC, or known as PTAC, we are a nationwide program. We have one common goal. We bring the government buyers together with U.S. suppliers. There are nearly 100 PTAC offices across the United States and its territories. We are currently a DoD program when we are currently being managed by the Defense Logistics Agency. Come this October, though, we are getting a new, I always say a new boss. This PTAC program will be moving to the Office of Undersecretary of Defense of Acquisition and Sustainment. So we're kind of moving up the Department of Defense's chain. It's going to be interesting to see how this is the first time this has ever happened, and we've been around since the 80s. And there's going to be some big changes for the PTAC program. And we believe those are going to be positive changes for this program. We actually just received word this week that there will possibly be more money. Congress will be putting more money into the PTAC's mission and to increase more coverage across the United States. So we are a program that offers free services. We also receive money through the Department of DCED, Pennsylvania's DCED, where all of our services can be free because we have that match funding coming to support the program. So the PTACs in Pennsylvania, when the funding came out back in the 80s, Pennsylvania set up their PTACs regionally. So there are 7 PTACs in Pennsylvania, and each of those 7 PTACs, some of them have sub-centers. So every county in Pennsylvania is covered with a PTAC. Here's the Northwest Commission's service region. We cover Erie, Warren, Crawford, Mercer, Venango, Forest, Clarion, and Lawrence counties. If you are on today's session and you are not located in one of those counties, please reach out to us so we can help you find your PTAC, or there is a link down below, and you will all be receiving these slides. So these will be hot hyperlinks in here, so you can just go to that hyperlink. And we have a national association called ABTAC, you can go to that website and locate your PTAC. But again, we can help you with that if you like. The Northwest Commission also has other programs that we have available for businesses in the area, and as well as organizations, nonprofits, and such. Here, I'm not going to go through the list, but here is the contact information for the different programs that we provide. There's 2 pages of contacts. For today's discussion, we are going to talk about who DLA is and what they buy. And I will start today's part 1 session. I will giving you some beginning steps of doing business with DLA. Today's, it's basically an overview of DLA, but again, everything that I discussed today, I'd like to just make sure you are aware, we can help you with this. This is an overview. Some people like to do things on their own, and I get that. I'm a very independent person myself. I like to do things on my own. And matter of fact, I'm trying to install a ceiling fan right now. So I go to YouTube and try to figure out how I can install my own ceiling fan. But we are a free service, so we can help you save time and money. We've been there, done that with a lot of companies. We have over 400 clients in the area that we can help save that time. So why not use us? Again, I am going to be showing you some steps, but we can help save time. You might be surprised after today learning that you may indeed have a product or service or capability that that DLA needs. So I'm hoping that by the end of today's session and next week that you will take away that you'll be able to find out that this is something that you as a company have something that you can sell to DLA. So hopefully today's discussion will help you understand a little bit more about that. DLA's mission is supporting the warfighter. They are DoD's largest logistics combat support agency. Their mission is to provide the best value integrated logistics solutions to America's armed forces and other designated customers in peace and wartime, around the clock and around the world. Back in during the World War II era, each DoD agency managed their own supply chain and logistics, but eventually they had to come up with a system to streamline parts and pieces and to make sure all agencies were not duplicating parts, which are called the NSNs now. They created this new product code called the National Stock Number, or NSN. And so that way it kept all agencies in sync and all parts were being labeled the same way. Eventually then DLA was formed. DLA provides worldwide logistics support in both peacetime and wartime to the military services, as well as several civilian agencies and foreign countries. DLA's responsibility has grown to the point that today, if our forces fight with it, wear it, eat it, burn it as fuel, or otherwise use it, DLA probably provides it and arranges it for reutilization after the consumer no longer needs it. So they bring it back in and recycle some of those supplies. So DLA has several primary level fields of activities. I'm only going to cover like 3 of those today because we are seeing the manufacturing companies in our region. These are the 3 primary level fields that we see the most success in and that we see most of our clients working with. This is DLA Aviation, and I'm not going to read off all of these products, but they support 9 major product lines, anywhere from helicopter components, terminal strips, electrical motors. Aviation supports over 17 weapon systems in the U.S. military's integrated material manager for more than 1.2 million national stock number items. Here is a link to their website, and they are out of Richmond, Virginia, and there's a telephone number as well. The next primary level field is DLA Troop Support. They have 5 supply chains that they manage, anywhere from food equipment clear down to like nuts, washers, nails, miscellaneous hardware. Here's their website information. And lastly, primary level field activity, the DLA's land and maritime. And these are two commodity chains that that are actually located at the same base in Columbus, Ohio. Land and Maritime has tires, small arms, wheeled and tracked vehicle spares, where Maritime has hoses, fitting, valves and pumps, and anything that's, related to maritime. DLA Land and Maritime awards over 660,000 contracts annually. They support more than 2,000 weapon systems and handle more than 9 million orders annually. And these are statistics that were taken from fiscal year 2016. Each of the Department of Defense, not even including DLA, all DoD programs have a small business office programs. Their mission is to maximize that opportunity for small business. So these offices have small business professionals inside, which they provide direction and resources needed to achieve DoD's small business procurement objectives. And they can help you understand their organization's missions, challenges, requirements. They can also help you identify prime contracting and subcontracting opportunities and their requirements. So first you would, because we are a DLA program currently, DoD, you would want to work with your PTAC first. We are the first branch of support for you because we're located right here in your backyard. But when there are things that are questions that we don't have privia to, then we can reach out. We can get you connected to your small business professional within DLA. Here is a hyperlink to DLA's website that will take you to the small business programs. And I'm going to actually try to share this with you or open this up so I can show you what it looks like. Also down below, I found this new resource that DLA just put out not too long ago, where there's printable flyers. I'm going to actually show you that too. And these can be things you can download. We'll give you a little more information. So I'm going to stop my share and see if I can. Here we go. And you should be seeing, are you seeing the DLA's website, Molly?
Yes.
Did I do that right?
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty small. I don't know if there's a way for you to.
I wonder if it's, okay, maybe I need to stop my share, which I think I did. Let's see what happens now. It's still going on that second page.
Yeah, I think though.
I don't know if I can. Let's see if I do this. How does that look?
It's still a very small window within the Zoom. So yeah, you'll just have to scroll up and down as you navigate.
Okay. Sorry everyone.
Okay.
Technology. So anyway, it's on their main homepage, and we're gonna, be going back and forth. Next week, I will be talking a lot on how to navigate through this DLA Defense Logistics Agency's bidding board system. But down below, you will find links to all those small business offices. Here's DLA Aviation, Land and Maritime, and Troop Support. Of course, there's some other primary level fields, but I'm not talking about those ones today. So, and then I think I was telling you about those flyers. I have that link to this flyers. Can you see that aviation small business flyer?
Yes.
Okay. So this is really great. I love this. It really focuses basically on aviation's small business, and it shows you some of the commodities. They list some of the federal supply class codes, which we're going to talk about here in a bit. I'm going to show you how to select your own FSC code, so you can go out and search for opportunities that fit you. But it shows you, some of the top. If you scroll down, it'll show you some of the top spending for fiscal year 2018 to 20 on the highest, what parts they needed the most. And then they list some of the NAICS codes, which I'm sure you're familiar with if you're doing business with the government already. They have contact information here for the associate director, deputy director. These are great flyers. A lot of great information on here. Okay, so I'm going to stop that share and go back to our PowerPoint. And I believe we should be back to the PowerPoint now.
We are, Robin. It's still in presenter view though.
Okay. Let's see. How does that look? It's kind of switched screens on me. I'm still working with two screens today.
That's okay. It hasn't switched quite
Okay,
yet.
let me see what I can do here.
Okay.
Now?
No.
All right, let me stop this share. I think what I need to do is stop the PowerPoint. And there we go. Should be good now.
It's not up yet for me.
I know. Sorry, everyone. It's one of those days. I think I need to go to Zoom and then share.
There we go. It's still, there we go.
Okay, cool. I'm only gonna have to do that one more time, I believe, throughout the presentation, because I'm gonna show you guys a video here soon. So why does DLA need, what do they need from contractors like you? They need high quality products. They need a company who can be timely and have early delivery. They need fair and reasonable prices. You know, they need small business. They need competition because they want to drive down those prices. I mean, ultimately, this is the taxpayer dollars paying for these items. So they are looking for companies that are fair and reasonable. They want a contractor who is reasonably adheres to the contract terms. And they want you to be able to be somebody who, you know, communicates with them and gives them an immediate notification if there's any problems. Working with your PTAC, we can show you how to do some of those things. There are certain mechanisms where you can keep in constant communication when you are working on a contract. And why is this important? It's because why does DLA depend on these? It's because it matters in the lives of our servicemen and women. They depend on it. DLA depends on that small business to supply that highest quality product in order to keep our troops safe and secure. So that's why there are so many requirements, so many standards in place. Our U.S. troops should not receive anything less. They deserve the best, and that's why DLA, they watch out for our men and women serving. So today I'm going to actually show you a little video. It's going to be about a 9-minute video. I felt that it was it's a very good video. It really showcases everything DLA does, and I think it'll give you a bigger picture of what they're all about and their mission. It is, again, 9 minutes long, but I do believe it's worth it. So I hope you can stick with us. So I'm going to stop my share again. Okay. Get rid of that. I'm getting better at this.
It's tough to switch back and forth.
I know.
So.
Let's see. All right. You guys should be seeing, and oops, you know what? Something I forgot to do. And I reminded myself of this. When I go to share this, I also have to share the sound. All right, you guys should be seeing, getting ready to see a video.
Yes.
Okay.
What do all of these items have in common? They all need logistics support, and that is where you can look for opportunities to work with the Defense Logistics Agency. DLA is the nation's combat logistics support agency, and for our team, logistics is about managing and controlling the flow of goods, energy, and other resources to serve the warfighter and the nation. Headquartered at Fort Belvoir, DLA is a global enterprise postured to meet warfighter, federal government, and partner and allied nations' logistics requirements around the world. DLA sources and provides nearly 100% of the consumable items that America's military forces need to operate. We also support more than 2,300 weapons systems, and nearly 100% of fuel for the military services. We offer energy solutions, manage the reutilization of military equipment, administer the storage and disposal of strategic and critical materials, and offer document services. We also manage distribution centers worldwide, provide logistics information products that leverage data with cutting-edge technology, and support 110 nations with $2 billion in foreign military sales. Our mission is to provide the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and the U.S. federal agencies with a full spectrum of logistics and acquisition support. Our global team processes more than 100,000 orders per day and writes more than 10,000 contracts every day, providing our customers with more than $35 billion in goods and services annually. At DLA, we are dedicated to working with small business. You can see our contracts with small business spread across the entire agency. We have about 12,000 suppliers, and 80% of them are small businesses. Annually, the value of DLA contracts with small businesses exceeds $10 billion. DLA supports 9 supply chains that cover the full spectrum of logistics. Let's take a closer look into DLA. The team at DLA Troop Support manages 5 of DLA's 9 supply chains. The subsistence supply chain provides food support for the military all over the world. From individually packaged meals in a soldier's rucksack, to a ship's galley, to full-service dining facilities on military installations. The clothing and textiles supply chain provides clothing, textiles, and equipment to U.S. service members, other federal agencies, and partner nations. The CNT team procures more than 8,000 different items, managing more than 50,000 line items. From light bulbs to bulldozers, the construction and equipment supply chain provides a diverse set of solutions for our military and other federal customers. Our support programs include equipment to support fire emergencies and force protection, communication and tactical equipment, and metal to keep critical weapons systems operational. The medical team supports America's military every day and in every crisis. To ensure their basic and critical medical and pharmaceutical needs are met, our support includes surgical items, preventive vaccines, field hospital equipment, and even medical supplies for animals. Nothing rolls, flies, or sails without the industrial hardware supply chain. We supply more than 900,000 items, everything from screws, nuts, bolts, to washers, nails, pins, and other items typically referred to as bench stock or repair parts. DLA Troop Support also provides support for humanitarian and disaster relief efforts at home or abroad, and provides warfighter support through the 5 supply chains they manage. The DLA Aviation team supports more than 1.2 million national stock number items, industrial retail supply, and depot-level repairable acquisitions. The team procures repair parts for both fixed and rotary wing aircraft, bottled gases and cylinders, and oversees DLA's green products. They also manage the Department of Defense map repository and operate the federal government's only industrial plant equipment facility, providing a full range of maintenance services for industrial machinery, including lathes and milling machines. The team at DLA Land and Maritime manages about 2 million items and supports more than 15,000 customers throughout the military services, civil agencies, and other DoD organizations. DLA Land and Maritime manages consumable repair parts and depot-level repairable procurement operations for nearly 2,000 land-based and maritime weapons systems. The land supply chain manages parts for land vehicle operations, including maintenance kits, transmission, engine and suspension components, tires and batteries, as well as radios and parts for small arms. The maritime supply chain procures repair parts for the nation's ships, including electrical parts, valves, pumps, motors, and cabling. The DLA Energy Team provides energy acquisition for the military services and other federal agencies at more than 4,000 locations worldwide. They manage petroleum products, including jet fuels, aviation and automotive gasoline, heating oil and lubricants, as well as coal, natural gas, electricity, and alternative fuels. They also manage aerospace energy, including acquisition of missile fuels, liquid propellants for space launch and satellites, aviators breathing oxygen, and other bulk industrial chemicals and gases. In addition, the DLA energy supply chain supports utilities at DoD installations, including electricity, natural gas, water and wastewater systems. The supply chains cover about 95% of our business, and most of that business is products and supplies, not services. If your business makes, manufactures, or produces something, there is a chance that DLA is a potential customer for your business. Now let's take a look at DLA's business services that help manage the supply chains. DLA Distribution is the lead center for DLA's network of distribution depots responsible for receipt, storage, issue, packing, preservation, and transportation of DLA-managed items. They purchase supplies and services in support of their mission and buy items such as packing materials, material handling equipment, and other services to support the DoD distribution network. DLA Disposition Services manages worldwide reutilization, transfer, donation, recycling, and disposal services for the military services. They purchase supplies and services in support of their mission to include maintenance services for material handling equipment, disposal services, such as hazardous waste disposal, professional services, such as temporary help or consulting services, demanufacturing services, and precious metals recovery services. The DLA Contracting Services Office, or DCSO, is a component of DLA headquarters that provides contracting support for the entire enterprise. At DLA, we are dedicated to providing the best possible services and supplies to support the warfighter. We are cost-conscious and always looking to work with innovative and forward-thinking businesses. We have small business offices located alongside each of our major buying commands and are committed to providing maximum opportunities in our acquisitions to small business concerns in different programs. If you are new to the government marketplace, you can also reach out to your local Procurement Technical Assistance Center, or PTAC. PTACs serve as a resource for businesses to obtain information and training related to contracting and subcontracting opportunities with DoD and other agencies. And most PTAC assistance is provided free of charge. Industry engagement is one of our priorities. Our dedication to support our nation runs deep, and our global network of partners is critical to our success in supporting the warfighter and our federal customers. We look forward to speaking with you about opportunities with DLA. This is logistics. This is DLA, the nation's combat logistics support agency.
All right, so I actually have watched that video several times, and I'm always learning something new every time I watch it. And I'm actually sitting here making notes because I know I have clients that that make some of the things that they're asking for. So I hope you enjoyed that video and got something out of it. All right, let's see if we can get back to all right. I hope that that is what we're seeing now is the.
Yep, it looks good.
Okay, cool. So let me get past that page. So moving on here, how does DLA buy? Well, 85% of DLA solicitations are automated via the DLA's internet bid board system. And again, that's called DIBS. We'll be talking about that again next week, how to navigate through that system. These procurements are system generated, web-based, evaluated, and awarded by the computer. You will notice in a solicitation number, if there is a T or a U in the 9th position of that solicitation number, then you're going to know that that is basically you're going to be evaluated by your low bid. If your quote meets all of the parameters that were set up in the system and you are a low price, you are going to be probably awarded that contract. So that's how a lot of the requests for quotes are purchased. Sometimes the bid will go out where it's fully competitive, meaning the bid sets and drawings are available. And we're going to talk about this more in detail. Some of those buys or those bids are source controlled via approved sources. What that means is only approved sources can bid on those opportunities. So if your company would like to become an approved source, you would need to go through the proper procedures to prove to the government that you can manufacture that part. There's an application you have to fill out, a lot of procedures you go through. We can help you do that. The other way that they buy is through approved cage codes, meaning that company, the OEM has already been an approved part, and they're only purchasing that OEM part. If it is applicable to that solicitation, these codes will be listed in the solicitation document. That the cage codes would be listed there. The other way that they buy are from qualified product lists or manufacturing lists, QPLs or QMLs. So you would have to go through another approval process. I'm pretty sure you have to be in business for 2 years to be on that qualified or to apply for that qualified product list. So I know that there is, that's how DLA buys their nuts and their bolts and things like that. You have to be on one of these qualified lists. I found something very interesting while revising this video or this PowerPoint for you guys today. There's a link down at the bottom that will take you to the qualified product database. I found this to be very interesting. You can search for parts. You can search for suppliers that are already approved, qualified vendors. And this may be a way, I got to do some more investigating on this, but I thought I wanted to provide it for you guys today to take a look at it. If you are a supplier and not a manufacturer, supposedly maybe you just supply things. You can maybe go out and find qualified manufacturers that are on this list, and possibly maybe there'll be a way for you to hook up with some of these manufacturing companies that are already on the list and bid on some of these contractors as just a supplier, as a non-manufacturer. And there's some roles for that, so we can help you understand some of that. This may be also a great way to look for some potential subcontracting opportunities. If you're finding some large companies that are listed on the QPLs, you might be able to reach out to them, because I believe their contact information, everything is listed on there. And maybe there's going to be some opportunities for subcontracting for you. So I just wanted to put it out there for you. I do need do a little more investigating with it, but I thought it was kind of a valuable resource for you to look at. Take a look at that when you get a chance. So a lot of these, and again, we'll show you all this. I don't want it to be confusing, but I wanted to just make you aware. Some of these bidding opportunities do not have technical documents that are available. And I know you as a manufacturing company, when you want to make a part or a piece, you need to have a drawing specification on how the government wants it. Sometimes the government does not own those technical documents. So you'll want to be looking for opportunities where there is a acquisition method code, G. G stands for, when you see a G, it shows you that the government owns those technical documents, and you would be able to download those. 15% of those NSNs, national stock numbers, are actively purchased under a G item. So you'll see this one that I'm giving you an example. It's for an O-ring, and it has a G rating, meaning that the technical documents are available. But if you look at my second picture or example, this is an AMSC code D, This means that the government does not own the technical documents. The technical documents are not available. It looks like Parker Hannafin Corporation is the OEM on that. And so they are the approved source data for that part. So that would be probably something as a new contractor you would not want to be bidding on. So you'll be looking for those codes. But I'm going to show you other ways to narrow down your searches. If you want to find out more about these codes, I've given you a link here at the bottom that will take you to all the definitions for the different AMSC codes. So there are two different types of solicitations that DLA buys. There's the request for quote. A request for quote, RFQ, is usually under 250,000. 250,000 is the threshold for the simplified acquisition threshold. And most of the time, not all the time, I say most of the time, these opportunities that are under 250,000 are reserved for small businesses, meaning large competition, are the larger companies that cannot compete with you. Not all the time, but most of the time. The most common type of award is averaged around, is less than $4,000. I have clients that are small businesses and they're doing $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 contracts with DLA. These are generally quoted directly on the DIBS website, which we'll be showing you that next week. And again, 30 to 35% are awarded without a human intervention. The second type is the request for proposal, or RFPs. These are normally over 250,000, but not all the time. You will find these on the DIBS, as well as finding them on the SAM.gov under the contracting opportunities. And here's a link to that site. If you have done business with the government before and you have taken a break from doing business with the government, federal government, you would have found these opportunities originally on FBO or FedBizOps. That system no longer is you no longer will be able to find that system. It's been decommissioned. And now all the systems, all the government systems went into one system called SAM.gov. And this is the link to that this all went down in May of this year, where everything, all the systems went into the SAM. So if you haven't been in the government contracting world for a while, FBO is no longer available. So requests for proposals will normally have a technical, past performance, and price parts to that proposal. So you would be putting together a technical package, a past performance package, and a price. And normally RFPs, they use evaluation factors or best value. And those, what would happen with those is the government would look at your technical proposal first, and they'd look at your past performance history, and then price would come into play. So technical is heavily weighed. It's not all about low price. They want to make sure that you as a contractor understand everything that the government wants, DLA wants, and then they want to make sure you have all that in place before they look at your price. And sometimes these proposals can also be negotiated with the government. So do we have any questions out there, Molly?
We do not have any that have been asked yet.
Okay. All right, so moving right along. Steps to doing business with DLA first and foremost, and this is if you're a beginner. If you're already doing business with the federal government, you already know this. You'll need to get a DUNS number. That is currently the process. They are going to be ending the DUNS here come April of 2022. It was supposed to be ended in 2020, but I believe COVID kind of put a delay on some of these things. But eventually DUNS number will be going away, but currently you still need to get a DUNS number. Then you'll want to get registered in that SAM system, the System for Award Management. Anybody doing business with the federal government needs to be registered with SAM. And we can help you do that. One of the things that I like to tell people every time I speak, because it's very, very important. And if you have friends and family that want to do business with the government, please tell them this. SAM is free. You do not need to pay anyone to help you to do that. PTACs, that's what we're here to do. It's one of our tasks, it's in our scope of work. It's for DoD is to help you get your System for Award Management in place. If you've currently used a third party I call them for-profit scammers. They go out and they tell you that you need them to enter into the SAM system, and then they charge you $600. I've been seeing some scams lately where they will do it for you the first year for free. And what they do is you provide them with all this confidential information, your banking information. You're giving these third parties all this information. They go in and start a SAM for you for free for the first year. And then what they do is they hold your credentials, your username and password, they hold them hostage, and they don't give them to you until you pay that $600 for the following year. This is their latest scam. If that has happened to you, if you have hired a third party to do your SAM and they are holding your username and password hostage, just let us know. We can help you get out of that very easily. We work very closely with the Federal Service Desk to be able to get you your information, and then we would get your username and passwords changed. We have seen it, and I'm just giving you these warnings because they are nightmares. We have seen it where clients use third parties for many years and never knew. They just paid them to take care of it every year, and they have information. They have your banking information, and they will eventually. What they'll do is they'll get you all set up, and they'll go back in and they'll enter their banking information and make it look like it's yours because they have a way of camouflaging that. And then when you get a contract with the government and they pay you directly through direct deposit, it goes into their bank accounts. So just a forewarning, there are some good ones out there. I'm not going to say they're all bad, but there are some, most of them are just not legit. So please reach out to PTAC. We can help you retrieve your information back and get it back into your hands. And we will help you every year get with renewal. Oh, and one other thing that I wanted to mention about the DUNS number 2, the government is going to be using, to replace the DUNS, they'll be using a unique entity identifier, or a UEI. You will currently see, as of now, SAM has assigned you your UEI. I have a hard time saying that. You'll notice that you've been assigned one. You want to make sure you go into your profile and locate that UEI and put it in your notes, because that is going to be your new identifier. It will replace the DUNS. So everybody has one if you're currently registered in SAM. And then when you go to register in SAM, if you're not in there yet, then you will be assigned a new UEI. Okay, so step 2, for doing business with DLA, you're going to want to identify national stock numbers that your company can manufacture or supply. That national stock number is the identifying number assigned to each item of supply. The NSN consists of a 4-digit a federal supply class code. And then the rest is, there's a 9-digit national item identification number, or called NIN. It's a 13-digit code, that national stock number. You will notice that first 4 digits are the federal supply class code. Though it's very important that we select some of those for you, because this is going to help us identify bidding opportunities. Once we show you how to use the system, the DIB system, those first 4 digits will help us identify opportunities that fit your company, or ones that you know that are closely related to things that you already manufacture or supply. So that is one of the things that when I'm helping a client, we get you set up with all these other things, these other steps, but then I'll give you some tools here to show you how to identify some FSC codes, and then we'll show you how to go in and search for those opportunities. Note, I have a note here that to let you know that if you are currently a subcontractor with a large prime, maybe General Dynamics, Northrop Grumman, or Lockheed, or a large prime that's already doing business with DLA, you might be supplying a part or a piece into an N item, and you might already have a national stock number assigned to that part or piece. It might be located on a purchase order or any kind of paperwork that you're getting from that prime. If you have things like that, let us know. PTACs, we have a bid match system that we can set you up in, and we can put that national stock number in your bidding profile, and it'll go out and look for the opportunities that are coming out through DLA, because those parts and pieces and those end products, they wear out. And if you're already currently doing that, you have a potential customer with DLA already, because you're already making those parts and pieces, and you might be an approved supplier already. You just have to send in the paperwork. So we can help you with all that. Here's some more information on that national stock numbers. I'm not going to go into it in details, but there's a YouTube video if you want to know more about the history of a national stock number, or how to get maybe an item get listed as get it assigned a national stock number. There is a process in place. You as the manufacturing, you cannot initiate that yourself, but you would work with a DoD agency to get a product list, get a national stock number listed on that product. So part of step 2 again is identifying those federal supply class codes that fit your company. Here are some resources. I'm going to give you 3 different resources on how to find or narrow down your national stock numbers. There is this handbook that's probably, this is the most mostly the one that I recommend to my clients, my manufacturing companies, when they're trying to find FSC codes that fit them. This link down at the bottom will take you to that. It's a handbook that you'll see 78 federal supply groups, and then it'll take you down to the commodity area, which expands into more of a definition of what that federal supply class code covers. So then what I do with a client is I help them go through that handbook, look for FSC codes. We start jotting down ones that fit, and then we use those for your searching, to do your searching. Here's another resource that they'll help you. This is the outreach systems. There's the link at the bottom. I use this explanation to help you understand when you're searching for FSC codes. So for this one example, the FSC code 1005, it's titled guns through 30 millimeters. You as a company may not make that, you might not make a gun, but you might make a gun muzzle lock that goes on one of those guns. So when you're searching for FSC codes, think about the end product, but think about that there are components that go into guns and different parts that go onto that. So when you look at that first 4 digits, the FSC, you're going to see the 1005, but then you're going to see the rest of that 13 digit is for that gun muzzle lock. So that's what you want to focus on. You don't want to focus on what you can make. You want to focus on the end product to help you narrow those down. Another example, the national stock number for a slide assembly plate is the first 13 digits that I've given you, but that first 4 digits is 7020, which is titled aircraft launching equipment. But you might make a plate that goes onto that launching equipment. So think of the end item when you're, and I know this is sometimes it's a hard, because you'll be looking at this federal supply class codes, like weapons is 10, nuclear ordinances, fire control equipment. You're like, we don't make weapons, but you could make a piece that goes onto one of those weapons. And that's what I want you to think about. Down at the federal supply class code 25 is for vehicular equipment components. You might not make that whole end product, but you might make a piece or a part that goes into a component of the vehicular equipment. So we want to be thinking broader. And again, your PTAC counselor can help you identify some of these. And then thirdly, DLA on their DIBS website, they also have a spreadsheet that you can download, and you can, it's right there. It's listed right on their website. You can download that Excel spreadsheet, and then you can search using keywords by using their find, or using the find on that Excel spreadsheet. So do we have any questions, Molly, for that section? No, it doesn't look like anything has come in.
We do not.
Okay. The third step of doing business with DLA would be to register with DLA. And this is the website that you would go to. Again, we can help you with this process. Some of the beginning part of it, we can actually do for you with you on the phone or on a Zoom call. You would still need to have your SAM registration. If you're brand new to federal contracting, your SAM registration would need to be active. So once you do your SAM, you want to wait at least 48 hours. So your SAM becomes active. It usually takes 7 to 10 business days for your SAM to become active. And then after it becomes active, you want to wait about 48 hours so that that information, when you go to register, kind of links over to the DIBS site. So that registration would be on that home page of DLA. You'd click on vendor registration, and you're going to see that there are 11 steps, but you're going to get stopped after, I think it's the 4th step, somewhere the 3rd or 4th step. You're going to put your cage code in, which you're going to receive that cage code after you register with SAM. You'll enter that in, and then it's going to stop you, and it's going to tell you that you are going to receive a postcard in the mail. And this is a part of a DoD or DLA's 2-step authentication process. It's going to be actually a physical card that'll come in your mail. You might want to tell, if you have a secretary or an office manager that receives the mail, you want to remind them that you're looking for this postcard. It's coming from DLA to finish up your steps. If for some reason that postcard, you never get that postcard, or it gets lost in the mail, or somebody accidentally throws it out, you can actually initiate a response for a new postcard, and we can show you how to do that. This postcard is going to have a physical address verification code that or a PIN that you will need to complete the rest of those steps that are on there, 11 additional steps. This is going to take about 10 business days to receive that postcard. And the next step, and then after you have your DIBS account set up, again, it's probably going to take about 10 days before you'll get that set up. Then you're going to want to become registered in the collaboration folders site. That's where the DLA keeps all of their technical documents. It's a separate registration. It's located on the home page. You would just click on the DLA's collaboration folder link, and you're going to want to come up with a new password. You will have created a username and password. Your username is going to be your cage code plus a 01, and then you're going to create a password to go along with that DIBS registration, and it's got special requirements for that password. Then you'll go in and you're going to enter that username password from your DIBS into the system, but then they're going to actually make you create a new username or a new password for the C folders. It will be separate. So we highly recommend you come up with some kind of method to keep track of these 2 different passwords, because it becomes very confusing. You'll have to renew these passwords every so many days. I believe it's every 30 or 60 days in DIBS. Please come up with some kind of a system to keep track of your SAM login information. You're going to have DIBS login, and then you're going to have C folders login information. So please keep a record of these, a very good record of these, because this is where we see our clients having problems. They're not keeping track of the last time they changed their password. I create an Excel spreadsheet, or not Excel spreadsheet. I actually have a Word document that I keep track of all my passwords, and I keep it encrypted so nobody can get into that. If you have another method of doing that, great, please do that. Be very organized when doing government contracting, because it becomes a nightmare if you're not. If you have problems getting into the C folders, or having them, and this has happened several times, where they're not accepting your DIBS registration username and password, then there is a number that you can call this help desk or email and let them know that you're having issues getting into your C folders. They usually will give you some kind of another security code to get in there to change things and to create a new one. So if you need help, again, we are here for you. We can help you virtually through a Zoom meeting to get set up with this. Another part of doing business with DLA and getting access to these technical drawings, there's going to be some additional access requirements. And one of those is a joint certification program, or JCP they call it. If you want to download DLA's specifications and drawings, you will need to apply for their enhanced JCP. A lot of times we're hearing from companies that, you know, they currently have a JCP, but it's a basic JCP. If you've not been doing business with DLA or DoD recently, you'll notice that they have created a new enhanced program where they're requiring you to fill out some additional documentation to actually download some of those technical drawings. If you have not applied for the enhanced program, you may want to reach out to PTAC, and we can help you put your JCP application together. It is a lot different these days than it used to be in the back in the day. Back in the day, you could fill out the application and put a few little words into your justification, and now there are 11 criteria that you have to address in order to get passed or get approved for JCP. We can help look over your application and make sure you have all the parts and pieces there. Now, that being said, if you do have the enhanced JCP and you have not heard, there is a new enhanced, and this has to do with cybersecurity. DLA, as all DoD agencies, must have their suppliers. If you are handling controlled unclassified documents, and if you have not heard about this, this is the NIST 800-171 cybersecurity controls that you would need to have in place. Because there's a lot of these documents that have protections on them. ITAR is one of those, and the cybersecurity. If you currently have the enhanced JCP, but you have not entered in your self-assessment, cybersecurity self-assessment score into the supplier performance risk system, and this is a whole nother training that I will be doing actually in September. Doing a whole training on the cybersecurity requirements. If you have not entered your first self-assessment score into that supplier performance risk system, then as of August 16th of 2021, your JCP would probably have been has been denied or has been expired or locked. So you probably, if you're going in and trying to download technical documents from DLA's DIBS C folders, you will probably get locked out of that until you put your first score in there. It's a whole nother subject. I don't want to go into details about it. Please contact PTAC, contact me. I can help you understand everything that is required. But as of August 16th, if you have not entered a self-assessment cybersecurity score into SPURS, you probably are being locked out of getting your technical documents. And this is what it's looking like now. They're going to have on the JCP application, you're going to be required to self-attest that your SPURS score is located in that the supplier performance risk system. And here's kind of a one-pager on the new requirements. Eventually, and I'm not going to go into details, eventually DoD will have a cybersecurity CMMC certification that you will need to you will have to go through in order to download certain documents. This is coming, people. It's not going away. It will be something that's coming down the line as of 2025. All solicitations, contracts will have some form of cybersecurity certification levels 1 through 5. So we, this is coming. Currently, you do not need to be certified, but you need to be preparing and getting your systems in place in order to go through that process. So again, a whole new product, a whole new topic. I will be talking about this and presenting in September. Look for that information on our website. You can take it'll be about an hour training that I'll be providing to help you understand. And here's some other restricted data information, expert controlled, foreign secure data that you might see. Some of these license agreements you may have to have in place in order to download some of those technical documents that have higher access required. In C folders, you will also want to make sure you download certain document viewer programs in order to look at some of these drawings. And I have a link here for you, or some instructions on how to find those softwares, things that you'll have to download to be able to look at some of those CAD and some of those drawings. And here's how you'll find it. You'll go to the home page. You'll go to the tech data. If you're having problems with all of that, here's some extra resources for you. This is a link that takes you right to those resources. Having security certificate issues on the DLA application, it'll help you with accessing C folders, DLA application resources, and Enterprise Business System Supplier Information Resource Center is also located in here. So that's just like a brief overview of, how to get started with doing business with DLA. On August 25th at 10 a.m., we will be discussing, looking more at the DLA DIBS website, searching for those RFQs. I'm going to give you some examples on how to pick out some FSC codes and find some opportunities that fit you. And I'll briefly review a DLA solicitation and some of the supporting documents that you need to help you put a proposal together, and some other DLA resources. DLA also, Land and Maritime, as I had talked about before, has a training and knowledge opportunities, TKO they call it. Here is a link to their calendar on when they're doing their next events. They're doing everything basically virtual right now, which has been working out very, very well, because people can just sit in their offices and actually take these trainings. Before, you could actually go to the Columbus base, Columbus, Ohio, to their base and take the training. They usually had a training where they had a classroom of 40 people. They narrow it down to 40 people so they can give you individual attention. It's a free 2-day training. I don't know when they're bringing that back, but currently they're finding some success with this virtual training. So look for some trainings. It's more in depth. You actually have a small business professional that you can talk to that can answer your questions directly. But again, PTAC, we're here. We can help you with all of that. Our service region, again, is the 8 counties. If we are not in our 8 counties, we can help you find your local PTAC. And here's our contact information. Thank you so much for attending today. Do we have any questions at all?
We do. We have a question. Where do we find this? They put spec. I'm not sure if they mean specifics on the NIST standard, the 800-171.
Yes. So Mark, we can help you find that. Reach out to me and I can help you. I have toolkits and things that I have put together, but it's actually the NIST standard. It is the standard, the 800-171. But there are new resources out for that NIST, and it's actually the 800-171 assessment methodology that we're using now, that DoD is using now. So I can help you do that. I believe you are a client of mine, so reach out to me, and Mark, and I can get that to you. But for everybody on the call, you can even Google NIST 800-171 assessment methodology. You should be able to find. You can actually go to the NIST website too to download those standards. But there's so much information out there on the web. Please contact your PTAC. We can make sure you're getting the appropriate information and steering clear from some of those scammers that are out there. So we want to avoid all of that and get you the tools and resources you need. Any other questions for me out there?
That was the only question. Mark replied back, thank you.
Okay. I can wait a few minutes if you're thinking of something or typing something out right now, feel free. Doing business with the government is a little bit daunting, and I do understand that. We try to make it as easy as possible for you. So when we work with clients, sometimes, we'll meet with you 3 or 4 times. Some of my most successful clients, I've gone out to their facilities or have done a virtual call, sometimes on the same subject 4 times, because it is, you're busy people. And I get that, especially in these times. I'm hearing from a lot of clients that they're busy right now with a lot of their commercial work. So, take a break from doing government contracting, and then come back to us, and we don't mind. That's our job. That's what we do. I don't mind talking about the same subject over and over again with a client. And I've seen so much success with clients that really, you know, they put one person on their government contracting in their company, and eventually they have this foundation of government contracting knowledge in place, and then they're finding success. They're bidding on contracts and they're winning. And don't be afraid to reach out to us. Don't think you're bothering us. That's our job. That is what we're here for. Melissa Becker, she's one of my contracting specialists, and Kelly Weaver is also a contracting specialist. So I've got two staff that that help me out, and that's what we're here for. Not seeing any new questions come in.
No new questions. Nope, sorry, that was something that popped up in my background on correct silence. So yep, no new questions. So I want to thank you, Robin, for all of this information, and remind everyone that we will be having the second session next week on the 28th at 10 a.m. You'll get a reminder with the Zoom link day before and an hour before. So join us next week to get the final details on this. And in the meantime, any questions, Robin, Melissa, and Kelly's information is up there if you need any help with any of this.
And I think you said the 28th. It will be the 25th, which is a Wednesday.
Sorry if I said the 28th. Yeah, it's the 25th.
Yeah. I knew you knew what you were talking about.
Thank you for clarifying, though.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy all that rain.